In the vast silent theater of space, the spotlight often shines on two main actors, both from the United States. One is NASA, the grand old pioneer, the agency whose legacy is etched into the heavens. Its name is a synonym for human ambition. A story written in fire and starlight across the skies of Cape Canaveral, underscored by the foundational roar of Saturn V rockets. It is the institution that put boots on the moon, sent probes to the edge of the solar system, and placed telescopes into the cosmic dawn, allowing humanity to gaze upon its own origins. NASA represents the soul of national exploration, a testament to what a country can achieve when it marshals its resources towards a singular, monumental goal. Then there is the disruptor, the force that redefined the rules. SpaceX, the Silicon Valley upstart, turned the industry on its head with a spectacle that felt like science fiction made real. Rockets descending from the sky to land gracefully back on Earth. Their ethos is one of speed, reusability, and an almost obsessive, singular drive towards establishing a human presence on Mars. They are the brash, brilliant new power, dominating headlines, and launch manifests from the Texas coast of Boca Chica to the rest of the world. SpaceX operates with the velocity of a tech company, embracing public iteration and spectacular failures as mere stepping stones on a rapid path to success. But while the world watches this dramatic interplay, a third major player moves with a different cadence, a different rhythm. It does not always seek the brightest spotlight or the loudest fanfare, yet its contributions are as fundamental, and its technology is, in many ways, just as revolutionary. From a string of islands in the Pacific, Japan's space program, led by the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, or JAXA, has been quietly carving out a legacy. This legacy is built not on sheer scale or disruptive speed, but on something else entirely. A concept deeply woven into its national identity: perfection. This is not a story of who is best. It is a story of different philosophies, different strengths, and how, in the new global space race, the quiet craftsman can stand, shoulder to shoulder with the trailblazing giant and the agile disruptor. To understand JAXA, one must first grasp the concept of Monozukuri. This is a Japanese term that escapes simple translation. It means more than just manufacturing or production. It is the art, the science, and the spirit of making things. It embodies a deep-seated cultural pride in creating products of the absolute highest quality, with a fanatical attention to detail. It is the same spirit that forges a world-class automobile, a precision camera, or a perfectly balanced chef's knife. JAXA applies this meticulous philosophy to building rockets, satellites, and interplanetary probes, where American space culture was born from the Cold War's urgent demand for speed and political victory. Japan's was forged in a post-war environment of resourcefulness and a relentless pursuit of reliability. Failure was not an option, not because of a race against a rival, but because every mission, every single component, represented a significant and precious national investment. This brings us to the launch pad at the Tanegashima Space Center. It is arguably one of the most beautiful launch sites on Earth, a sliver of lush green, surrounded by the deep blue of the Pacific Ocean. The tranquility of the location belies the immense power unleashed here. From this spot, Japan launches its workhorse H-IIA and H-IIB rockets. Let us compare these launch philosophies. SpaceX's Falcon 9 is the undisputed king of the commercial launch market. Its groundbreaking reusability has fundamentally altered the economics of reaching orbit, making it the go-to provider for constellations of satellites and even for flying NASA's own astronauts to the International Space Station. SpaceX launches frequently, learns from its occasional failures, and iterates its hardware at a speed the aerospace world had never before witnessed. It is a mass production model for accessing space, efficient and relentless. NASA, with its new Space Launch System, or SLS, is building a Titan from a different era for a different purpose. It is an expendable behemoth designed with one grand objective: to push humanity back to the moon and then onward to Mars. It is a modern monument to national power, a vehicle for exploration at a scale no private company can yet match. For the SLS, capability is the primary driver, not cost per kilogram. JAXA's approach carves a third path. The H-IIA rocket boasts one of the most astounding success rates in the history of spaceflight. Its operational record is a powerful testament to the principle of Monozukuri. When a customer, whether it is a foreign government or a private satellite operator, purchases a launch from Japan, They are not just buying a ride to orbit, they are buying certainty. JAXA markets this as on-time launch, a service as dependable as Japan's famed Shinkansen bullet trains. It is a boutique service. It is not the cheapest option, nor does it fly with the highest frequency, but it is a Swiss watch in a world of smartwatches. With their next-generation H-3 rocket, JAXA aims to maintain this incredible benchmark of reliability while becoming more flexible and commercially competitive. A direct acknowledgement of the new market realities shaped by SpaceX. But it is when we venture beyond Earth's gravitational embrace that Japan truly steps out of the shadows and onto the main stage. In the intricate, high-stakes game of robotic deep space exploration, Japan is not just a competitor. It is a pioneer and a leader. Consider the asteroid, a small dark rock, a primordial remnant from the birth of the solar system, tumbling silently through the void millions of miles from home. For most of space history, humanity could only observe these bodies from afar, as distant points of light. Japan decided to go and touch one. Yet the JAXA engineers on the ground in Sagamihara refused to give up. Their response was a masterclass in ingenuity and perseverance. They improvised solutions that were never in the original design. They repurposed the craft's gentle ion engines, designed for propulsion, to control its orientation. They painstakingly nursed the wounded, probed back across the immense expanse of the solar system. After a 7-year journey, a tiny capsule, holding just a few micrograms of precious dust from the asteroid Itokawa, blazed like a man-made meteor through the Earth's atmosphere and landed safely in the Australian outback. This was the first time humanity had ever brought a physical sample from the surface of an asteroid back to Earth. While NASA was performing incredible feats of complexity by landing rovers on Mars, JAXA was pioneering an entirely new field of cosmic retrieval. They followed this legendary mission with Hayabusa 2. This was not merely a sequel. It was a masterpiece of precision and ambition. The probe did not just land on the asteroid Ryugu. It fired a copper impactor into its surface, creating an artificial crater. This allowed it to collect subsurface samples, pristine material untouched by eons of harsh solar radiation. It was a mission of surgical precision on a cosmic scale. NASA's own impressive OSIRIS-REx mission, which successfully brought back a sample from the asteroid Bennu, followed the path that Hayabusa had blazed. This is Japan's competitive edge. It is not found in building the biggest or the cheapest rocket. It is in the flawless execution of missions of unprecedented complexity and precision. Their upcoming Martian Moons Exploration, or MMX mission, perfectly illustrates this ethos. The goal is to fly to the Mars system, land on its mysterious moon Phobos, collect a sample, and return it to Earth. It is a mission so audacious, so technically demanding, that it exists at the very edge of current technological capability. It is a cosmic sniper rifle, aimed at a specific, difficult, and scientifically priceless target. This same obsession with precision is on full display in their lunar ambitions. While NASA's Artemis program rightfully captures the world's imagination with its inspiring goal of returning humans to the moon, JAXA is tackling a key enabling challenge with its SLIM mission, the Smart Lander for Investigating Moon. Historically, lunar landers have an aimed-for landing zone measured in kilometers. They target a big, flat, safe area to maximize the chance of a successful touchdown. SLIM's objective was to land within a 100-meter target zone, an area smaller than a football field. Its purpose was to demonstrate a pinpoint landing, to prove that a spacecraft could land not just on the moon, but at a specific chosen spot. The level of accuracy is akin to trying to throw a dart from Los Angeles and hitting a specific spot on a dartboard in Tokyo. This technology is a quiet game changer. It means that future missions, both robotic and crewed, can land near steep crater rims to study water ice, inside lava tubes that could serve as future habitats, or right next to unique geological features, instead of trekking for miles. While NASA builds the interplanetary highway back to the moon with Artemis, Japan is perfecting the all-terrain vehicle that can get you to the most scientifically interesting destinations. And it is on the moon where the distinct philosophies of Japan and the United States begin to merge into a powerful and synergistic collaboration. Japan is a key signatory of the Artemis Accords and a crucial partner in the Lunar Gateway, the planned space station that will orbit the moon and serve as a staging point for surface missions. In one of the most exciting collaborations, JAXA is partnering with a quintessential Japanese company, Toyota to build the lunar cruiser. This will be a large, pressurized, crewed rover, essentially a mobile habitat on wheels. It will allow astronauts to live and work on the lunar surface for weeks at a time, traveling hundreds of miles from their landing site. It is a perfect fusion of national strengths. NASA provides the heavy lift launch capability and the highly trained astronauts. Japan, leveraging Toyota's legendary global expertise in mobility and extreme environment, reliability, provides the critical surface infrastructure. It is not JAXA versus NASA. It is JAXA with NASA, pushing the frontier together. The private titan, SpaceX, represents a different kind of interaction, a mix of competition and collaboration. National space agencies must now compete with a private company, a paradigm shift in the history of spaceflight. JAXA, like NASA, uses SpaceX's Falcon 9 to launch some of its missions because the economics are simply undeniable, but the philosophical gap remains vast. SpaceX's culture, born from the fast-paced world of California software development, is about moving fast, accepting risk, and iterating in public. Their development of the Starship Super Heavy rocket is a prime example. Build, fly, explode, learn, and repeat. It is a spectacular and spectacularly effective method of rapid development. JAXA's culture is the antithesis of this. Problems are identified and solved through meticulous simulation, exhaustive ground testing, and a multi-layered, consensus-based review process. Public failure is to be avoided at all costs. The development of the new H-3 rocket, for example, has been deliberate and methodical, marked by delays to ensure perfection before its first flight ever leaves the ground. It is the fundamental difference between a tech startup shipping a beta version of its software to users and a master craftsman refusing to let a piece of furniture leave the workshop until every joint is flawless and every surface is perfect. This creates a fascinating and healthy dynamic in the global space ecosystem. You have the government-funded pioneer, NASA, setting the grand scientific and exploratory visions for humanity. You have the commercial disruptor, SpaceX, radically changing the economics of getting to space. And you have the precision specialist, JAXA, pushing the very boundaries of what is possible in robotics, deep space navigation, and high-stakes, complex operations where there is zero margin for error. Their presence on the International Space Station is a microcosm of this essential role. The Japanese experiment module, known as Kibo, which means hope, is one of the most sophisticated and versatile laboratories on the station. It features its own airlock and a delicate robotic arm, allowing it to deploy small satellites directly from the ISS, creating a commercial hub in low Earth orbit. For a long duration, Japan's HTV Kunatori cargo vehicle was the only craft capable of carrying the largest racks of external equipment to the station. The Japanese contingent were not just passengers on this international outpost. They were, and are, indispensable architects and logisticians. So how does Japan compete? It does not try to compete with SpaceX on cost per launch or flight frequency. It cannot compete with NASA's sheer budget and historical scale. Instead, it competes by playing a different game, on a different field. It chooses its targets with surgical care, asteroid sample returns, pinpoint lunar landings, advanced robotics, and hyper-reliable launch services. It leverages its unique national character, the spirit of Monozukuri, the patience of a craftsman, and an engineer's unwavering obsession with perfection. The future of space is not a single path. It will be an intricate network of roads, built by different hands with different tools. There will be the superhighways constructed by NASA and SpaceX, carrying crews and tons of cargo to the moon and one day, Mars. And there will be the precision-engineered mountain paths, carefully carved into difficult and dangerous terrain by JAXA, leading to new vistas of knowledge and discovery in places no one else has yet dared to go. The great race for the stars has changed. It is no longer a simple sprint between two superpowers. It is a complex, multi-layered global marathon. And in this new era, the steady, quiet, and impossibly precise pace of Japan has proven to be one of the most powerful and essential forces in our journey into the cosmos.